At this point, I don't even know where On the Runs is going. We're going up, baby. And Monday Night Media is taking us there. So
1, 2, 3, 4.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 123 of the On the Runs podcast. We hope everyone had a great Labor Day weekend, and we have some very exciting news to share. But first, let me say hello and introduce my rock star of a co-host, the newly appointed CEO of Monday Night Media, 6-star Erika. What's up?
you guys are too kind that it's totally a joke title, but I will take it with pride. I am so happy to be a part of Monday Night Media.
Well, I need a CEO, and if if I'm doing all the work, I should be the COO, the Chief Operating Officer.
No. You need to be like the president, and I'll just be like vice president.
Okay, you know what? Maybe I could be El Presidente. We got to go over like some job titles here. Like if we ever have cards, what does it say? We should have something funny.
Okay. We could roll with that. Definitely.
Well, like instead of president, it would say El Presidente, which I don't think we need to do because that's Dave Portnoy or others have done that. But like we could have some type of funny like President of Stooley. Something like Stooley president. I don't know. I'm just like I'm on a.
You could put Stooley's babysitter. That'll be my title or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Professional babysitter and minor league podcast host.
Minor league. I love it. I mean, hey, it pretty much
not professional until you make money.
No, totally.
Not professional until you make money.
That describes us to a T.
So
we're good.
Well, actually, our patrons are awesome. I love them. So they do help us out a little bit. They cover the costs. I love them. You guys rock. But this episode's a little different. It is. So I said, hope everyone had a great Labor Day weekend because you're listening on a Tuesday. And if you're listening on a Tuesday, happy anniversary, Erika.
Thank you.
But we are recording this early because 1, it's Labor Day weekend. 2, it's your anniversary. 3, it's just a lot of people have schedules or no time, including myself. Like, I hope I went to the fair. I know the girls planned on doing like an art day on Sunday, and I think we're going to the zoo on Monday, but that's all in the future. But if you're listening, hopefully it was in the past, and hopefully good times are had. No one fell into
all I
like.
Do is relax, and I'm starting right now.
There you go.
Bud Light Lime.
And I just hope none of my kids like accidentally go into like a tiger exhibit or anything.
Where would there be a tiger exhibit at the fair?
No, the zoo.
Like the zoo.
I think we're going to the zoo on Monday. We're thinking the fair on Saturday. I got the boys with me all day Sunday and the zoo on Monday. That's the tentative plan. But as of right now,
you guys are busy. I'm going to be relaxing because this is like the last official quote unquote weekend of the summer. They're trying to push summer out. I'm okay with the sweater weather temps, but summer is not gone yet. So keep your pumpkin spice bullshit out of my face. I do not buy into that. I want the Sam Summer. They're already bringing the pumpkin one. Oktoberfest. I don't think so. I want summer to stick around.
Let's talk about that. We just went out to eat on Monday night last week because we had a in-person recording that went just amazing.
Oh, so much fun.
Is this okay? It's not the first time because we've gone to Scott's house.
That's true.
We knew Scott. So this kind of feels like the first time, like we don't want to mess up. Like we had a brand new recorder. I practiced with it beforehand. We went to her house. She invited us. We did it in this beautiful, but it was like this really nice screen porch. And it was lightly raining outside. It was so nice. Yeah. I hope the microphones kind of picked it up. And if it did, I'm not going to get rid of it.
I feel like it was so much fun. I was sitting right next to like where it was coming down from, and I could hear it quite well. So I'm assuming the mic will pick it up.
Well, the only time it rained hard was when we took a quick 3-minute break because there was a situation about a binky. And I go through that situation about every day. And the husband, the dad here, came in and he goes, "Where's the binky?" And when you're trying to put your kids down in bed, you can't find the binky.
important.
It's like, oh my
Happy
God.
to pause to
Yeah.
rectify the
Yeah.
situation.
You will pack the kids up and go to like the pharmacy to get new binkies if you're still in binky stage, because nighttime is a disaster if you don't have it. And try having twins and only one binky.
Oh no.
And you can't find the other one. It's the worst. It's the absolute worst.
Always have a backup. That could be a Code Brown commandment. Always have a backup binky.
Always have a backup. But we went out to dinner after, and we got wings at Buffalo Wild Wings, and you were very upset about, I mean, they have a huge beer selection.
Yeah.
You just wanted one beer and they didn't have it because they went to Oktoberfest.
I love Sam Summer. It's just very light and citrusy, and that's the kind of stuff that I like. Even if it's like a cider, if it's light and airy, I love that. And it's just too early, you guys. I am not a basic bitch. I will not drink any of the pumpkin stuff. I mean, apples maybe, but no pumpkin yet. No. That's like October. Leave it to October.
It does feel like it's not fall yet. Like it's not supposed to be fall. Even though the temps have come down, what do we say? Sweater weather?
Sweater weather.
Finally,
sweater weather.
But when I saw that at Hopkinton Fair is this weekend, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's this week. Holy shit. Like, wait, what?
It crept up on us. Yeah, it crept up on us. I'm not ready. I mean, I love the temps. That's the only thing I like. We ran today, it being Friday, and it was like 72 degrees, absolutely gorgeous. I had my windows down on the way there, and I was like, I got like goosebumps. I don't know. That's how I like it to be. Just nice.
If it was a little warmer, you would have really struggled, because I took the whip to you.
Yeah, we pushed some pace. I think I kept up pretty well, unless you were holding back. I can't say.
I think if you weren't there, I would have really gone harder on the second two, but that first one was pretty legit.
Yeah.
When I say really harder, I mean like maybe at the end, like the tail end, it'd be like, let's push.
When you're like, I only got 0.1 left, I can do this. Like, yeah, that's a good.
That was good though.
call.
We went to a new section of the trail. That was a lot of fun.
Well, it's new for you. I've done the whole trail before, and that's my go-to spot, especially if I have a long run. I do enjoy the section that we did, and I want you to see what's past what we went to.
Yeah, we'll go. We'll have to finish the entire National Rail Trail soon.
Yeah,
I love Strava heat maps. I want to like make my heat map bigger, and it looks amazing when you look at the whole thing, like this huge network of blood vessels or something because of the color. And I always look at it and be like, okay, I'm going to go to where I stopped so I can grow that network of trails. I love to do that.
I don't do the whole thing very often, but I do it enough where it shows up on my heat map.
Yeah, I love how the areas I run a lot are super bright, like the Londonderry Rail Trail. But there's some areas around my old work where I ran for like 7 years and I haven't been there in years. And then sometimes I see it and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember those days. Get a little teary-eyed. Thornton Road in Merrimack. Oh, perfect road to run on. There's this house I wanted to buy. Yeah, so much of that old work area is wicked hot on the heat map. And my new work area I'm trying to grow it.
There you go. You got some good trails and at least like the fields that you've been
I have to drive to them though.
Oh, you do? So
it's like a mile away, but I hate the mile stretch to get to it. It's awful. And it's like a concrete jungle and it's hot and you got cars whipping around this road. I got traffic light. That kind of stinks. So I drive to it.
Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah, it's not far. It's not bad. So anyways, I mentioned this is a very special episode.
Yes,
we are calling this. This is different. We have no guests. It's Labor Day weekend. We didn't plan anything, even though we would have. Like, we got a couple in the bank, but we were like, what are we going to do? And I said, we've been teasing Monday Night Media is going to be producing some more podcasts. And I thought, what a cool way. Well, one of our future podcasts is like really ready to go and excited and wants to drop the news. And I'm like, well, I want to drop it all at the same time.
Yeah.
So let's do a little mini media tour.
I think that was such a good idea. You picked the perfect name for it because that's exactly what it is. The Monday Night Media Tour.
So Monday Night Media, our goal in 2025 is to start producing other podcasts with an amazing lineup of hosts. Not me or Erika. You're not going to hear our voice, but we will still do On the Runs as it's part of Monday Night Media. As Erika's the CEO and I'm the COO, or future name to be determined later. We're going to have 3 to 4 new podcast. We actually even might have a fifth. We might have like a murder type podcast.
How cool. That's diverse. That's diverse.
That might happen. So not all of these are going to be like these ones we're going to preview today. They're related to running, but they're all different than ours and they're all different than each other. And I'm super excited. The hosts have been handpicked by yours truly because I'm like, listen, I have this little side project, this little dream. I think I can do this. Let's try it for a year, see what happens. At the worst, I can't handle it, but you guys will have a podcast and I'll teach you all you need to know to put on a podcast and edit it. So we are going to talk to 3 super awesome people.
Yeah, we had such a blast recording with some of our favorite people, and I can't wait for all of you to hear what they have to say.
Let's start. We're just going to roll through it. 1, 2, 3. It's going to be like the whole da. But guys, enjoy the next 3 amazing guests on the On the Runs podcast Monday Night Media Tour. And we'll see you on the outro. First up on the new Monday Night Media Tour is no stranger to the pod. We met her way back when she was running with her wife and put on a 5K for Jay in 2022. And then she's been a friend of the pod for a long time, even filling in from time to time when Erika's doing a crazy 100-miler. We're wicked excited for her to tell you all about her next adventure and her next podcast. Welcome back to the pod, Nicole Bryant. What's up?
Thank you. Not much. What's up with you guys?
Nice to see you. We were just talking. It's been a long time since we've seen each other. So I'm glad you could join us and tell us all about your new podcast. I'm so pumped about it.
It's a long time for the two of you, but I talk to her every week.
I got to get in on that. I've been doing like fake CEO things where I'm like, if you guys need me, just let me know. But
no, Eric just comes to our house and he's just like seeing the craziness of our kids and dog and all the wild stuff. And he was like out back dropping something off, but I had like come downstairs and seen him and opened the door and grabbed the podcast stuff real quick.
Yeah, we've been doing a lot of handoffs lately.
That's right. It's like we're co-parenting, right? You're just handing off a kid to each other.
We're handing off our babies the microphone.
That's right.
Yeah, my extra microphone.
Take care of it this week.
and then you're telling me what to do every week by giving me instructions on how to run.
That's correct. I'm actually being nice to you, so I would, let's keep that going, right?
You've been
You're training for a marathon.
Yeah, but you've been nice, but you've also been like serious. Some of these are getting hard, and I love them.
Yeah, no, you love it, and you love the hills. That's wild. You're like, I ran up McIntyre.
Again.
Why? Without
it was
me
an easy run.
Voluntarily.
Yes.
Right, voluntarily.
I'm just like, let's do it.
And then you're starting to do your strength workouts, which, by the way, great job on that.
Thank you. Thanks to Erika and Chad and a few others in the what's our name of our strength training crew?
The Wolf Pack.
The Wolf Pack. That's right.
The Wolf Pack.
But we're not here to talk about me or you or Erika. Well, we are here to talk about you, actually. You are, I guess, technically our first contract signee, whatever. It's not in ink or anything, but we've been talking about doing this for well over a year. I remember the first time we had a 90-minute phone call about a podcast you wanted to do and whether I could help you do it. And eventually I'm just like, I want to do it. Fill us in. What are we going to do coming up? What's coming up for Nicole Bryant on Monday Night Media?
I mean, I don't have enough to do, so why not add this to my plate? Yeah, I mean, I remember that. I think I was living in my old house at the time and was in bed, and I had a bunch of notes written up, and we had, I still have all the notes from what you had talked about, but yeah, my podcast, I've already recorded a couple of episodes and have a bunch that are already ready to go and that I have in mind of what I want the podcast to look like and the episodes that I have. But it is based around running and mental health, because when I was on your podcast last time, I talked about the benefits of running and mental health and how good it is for you, for your brain and your mentality, your sanity, and then adding in the benefits of, therapy or different types of things that are going to help your mental health, whether that is a talk therapy or anything else in the mental health world, along with running and how beneficial it can be for your person. And that episode seemed to really resonate with a lot of people, more so than I had thought it was going to. And I got so excited about the thought of talking about a subject that is very taboo. And I think I told the story during your podcast that I had said to someone in a meeting, I had to go. I had an appointment on a telehealth, and they asked what the appointment was. And I told them it was my therapy, and they laughed at me. And I think in that moment, I
I remember that
realized
story.
how much we still laugh at people for trying to fix their brains. If you have a broken leg or if you have a broken arm or, a twisted ankle or anything, you go to the doctor to have them fix it. Why would you not? And this isn't to say anybody who goes to therapy is broken, because I'm certainly not, but you're going to go to work out what's going on in your head. So why would you not do that, but go to a physical doctor? And in that moment, that was way before I had met you guys, but in that moment, I had realized how like embarrassed it made me feel. And I wanted to cultivate a space where people felt like I resonate with that subject, or I can, sit with, Nicole for an hour, or Nicole with a guest, and talk about a subject that is really hard to discuss, but I don't feel alone, and none of us are alone. And we all have struggles and trauma and things that we deal with that are our own hard. And I want to build a little corner of the world for people who need a place to go when they're feeling like that, or they just want to go back and say, I want to listen to this episode because I'm dealing with this subject, or I'm having difficulties with eating that's affecting my mental health, or I'm having a difficulty with a friend or in a relationship. So that's kind of where the thought came from. And then I came on your podcast to talk about it, mixed in with my own experiences with therapy and kind of diving into my own stuff. So I think a mixture of all of that was really where the idea came from.
I remember that. That was episode 44. The photo is right there. It's one of the first times I put the number on the photo. It's also
That's
one of the first
right.
times.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, it's also one of the first times we ever used Riverside. I said, you're my test dummy, because I feel like if we screwed up, you would be okay coming and doing it all over again.
Yeah.
And we've done a lot of practice. We've gotten practice here behind a microphone, real practice. Like we've put it out there for the world to hear multiple times you come on the podcast. But what I remember most about that, after the episode, I told you, like, within one day, that became our most downloaded episode, 44 episodes in. It also became one of our most engaged episodes, where we had the comments, we had the feedback about how that came across and how everyone loved what you shared and talked about. And that was one of the first times, not the first time, but that was the most at that time we've ever received. In 100 something episodes now, we've everything continues to grow, but that was a huge like stepping stone for us, and kind of realizing what engaged the listeners and what they wanted to hear, or at least how much they appreciated what you had to say.
Yeah, it was amazing. I was really happy it resonated with so many people, because I do think there is that embarrassment aspect of therapy and going and talking about how you feel. And all of us don't like to talk about ourselves, right? We'd rather talk about other people. And so I think it really seemed to resonate a lot with people, which was great. I was very happy with the results from that. Also, in my competitiveness, when Eric texted me that, I was like, yeah, that's right.
I'm so glad that you're going to be putting this out in the open. It's going to be so beneficial for runners and non-runners alike, just with whatever topics you're going to come up with. So why don't you tell us what the name of your podcast is?
It's called Run Your Mind. So initially, I think I played around with the name, but it was called Run Your Mouth. Yeah. And I was like, that seems a little aggressive.
That's catchy,
because,
though.
yeah, and I think it was more like, that sounded more like me rambling, versus I wanted something that was kind of bold and really spoke about what the podcast is about. And the combination of running and your mind was, I just came up with it one day when I was playing around with the name. And I think I had sent it to Eric, and he was like, that's perfect. So I felt really good about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I liked both, but Mind was great because it really had to do with up here. Let's talk about your logo real quick. I don't know if we're set in stone with the logo, but I am going to share at least something that's very close to what we're doing. And I cannot take credit for this.
Oh, Nicole, I love it.
That would be Sammy. Sammy did that. That's a huge credit to Sammy. She did amazing with it. She had a few of them that she did up when I was talking to her about it I don't know, maybe like 7-8 months ago. And those were pictures that Dave Bellevue took of me running. So credit goes to him for the photos. And then Sammy made the logos.
It was
It's
great. I
beautiful.
think she did a great
Yeah.
job. So it's going to be something like that or similar. I know really what might change is the photo of you because we had a couple different versions. You could be running forward, running sideways, running
Right.
backwards, maybe upside down. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe we avoid upside down, but
Yeah, that
I'm excited for that. And I love the little Monday night media I added to it. So that's my little touch. Question I have is you've already started recording. You have our
Yep.
old recorder, you have a microphone, but you've written out. So actually we haven't said this yet, but it's going to be in seasons. So you've written out your first season already, even though you haven't recorded every episode. You got them written out.
Yes. I think I have, well, right now I just have them, like I have 3 seasons that I'm committed to doing 3. And then I have about 14 episodes all like just written out right now. The actual like topic of the seasons, I have 3 episodes written out structurally and scripturally right now.
How was that process?
It's been long. So my first one, like I had written out and then I recorded it. And like I told you, it was awkward a little bit. I was home alone, so it made it easier. But, and I kind of just, did just let it flow. I had talking points and stuff that I wanted to say. But then after that, I kind of just let it flow and I didn't talk for too long. I think I said it was like maybe 15, 20 minutes. And you said not to go over like 30 or something like that for the first one. And then the second one, I have all my talking points and questions and the script out. And then the third one, I have most of it done and then have reached out to that person to send me what they want to mostly touch on. But then I have about 12 other episodes that I have to write up. So I've got to fit those in. But yeah, I'm pretty ready to go. I mean, I've been working on this for a long time. Back when I had
Since
a
that phone
second
call.
job. Yeah. I mean, back when I had a second job, and I mean, a lot of times on the weekends it was quiet enough. I would just sit there and write ideas down and write up different things I wanted to talk about. I'd love to do a few like Q&A episodes of people sending in questions on mental health and see where they're at and pull in professionals and really, get this as serious as we can get. And also, it's not just going to be that. It's going to be talking about running and just different things and other, topics sprinkled in as well. Because I mean, it can be serious, but also I want it to be a place where it's also funny and, not so heavy at times.
Can you give us a little teaser of some of the topics that you might cover?
Yeah. So the second one, shocker, will be with my wife. It's going to be on the importance of friendship, specifically for females, and how toxic friendships can really bring you down and how to look for that friend and what to look for in a really good best friend. One of the other ones will be mindfulness. That'll be with Sammy. So talking a lot about meditation, really how to find your strength, finding yourself, what makes you happy. Another one will be about single parenting and how to cope with that. Another one, actually, Daniel and I are going to do on how to have a successful relationship, and like kind of like the funny side of our relationship and how to have a healthy relationship, without going into too much detail on our podcast. And then I'm trying to think of another one. Another one is going to be about nutrition, how eating healthy can really change your mindset and make you feel a lot better versus kind of filling your body with crap. On top of it, helps you as a runner fuel better. So that's kind of a few teasers for you.
We got some good stuff to look forward to.
Hope
I
so.
love it. I'm excited. Are you going to have some solo episodes too, where it's just you talking, alone in the living room by yourself? And
yeah, I think I'm going to have
you'll get
some of those
comfortable
episodes.
quickly.
Yeah, I think some of those too, to kind of dive into a little bit of my childhood and the trauma from that. So that way, if anybody has that going on, it's kind of a space for them to kind of resonate with and kind of feel like they're connected a little bit and not alone with that.
Now, Erika, I already gave Nicole some homework assignments, just like I give them to you.
Does she actually do them though?
We're going to see, because it's currently in the middle. I said I want a handful of episodes before my big sales meeting at the end of September, because I'll be gone for 8 days with a lot of dead time.
There you go. So edit. You get to
Yes,
Yeah.
I'll be editing and working on it. So I'm like, God, get me 3 to 5. Get me 3 to 5 or 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I would love
no
it.
pressure, Nicole.
I know. I'm going to try for at least minimum 4.
Oh,
So
I love
Justine and I are
that.
Justine and I are going to record on Monday, and then I'll probably do an individual episode. I'll record with Sammy, and then hopefully get you 4 or 5 before you leave.
Well, let me know every time before you record, because I set you up with the gear so I don't have to be there. But let me
Right.
know every time in case I have something extra, or I can help out in
Yep.
some way, or just like drop off another mic in case one of them goes kaput, whatever. I'm super excited to do this with you and to be behind the scenes. It's going to be a lot of fun. You're helping me achieve a little bit of a thing I want to do, a dream, this passion project, and we're helping you do this one too. I'm super excited for this. I'm sorry though it took a whole year.
I'm not. I think it needed to just to let it brew and get myself there. And I tend to rush into things that I shouldn't. So this was really good for me to be patient and kind of understand the process and learn and kind of have it planned out.
Good. I'm
So
excited. This is
it
going to
feels
be
very
so much
planned
fun.
out,
Me
and
too.
I'm ready. I'm ready now. So, but thank you guys for your
Well-
support. I really appreciate what you guys have done, and being on your podcast has helped alleviate a lot of my nervousness of being behind the microphone. So I appreciate
You'll be great.
You're a natural. You really are.
We don't have a set in stone date to when we're going to drop this yet. We're going to record the first season first and get that ready and produced. But my goal is for all these that you're going to hear about today, January 2025, they'll be already rolling, if not dropping that first week of January. So I'm super excited. The last question's not podcast related, and it's more just for you to give Erika a little insight of what I'm like on the VO2 app. But how are my running recaps? When I actually get in there and I make comments, give a
does he
little
write you like a
description for the
book?
listeners.
It's lengthy at minimum.
That
Like
does
even
not surprise me.
daily runs, it's lengthy. Races are novels, which compare to like a Harry Potter book. So
Spared no
but
details.
they're very descriptive. I don't have any other athlete that will write so much that happened. It's almost like if you ever read a Stephen King novel, which I really can't because he's so descriptive. That is what I equate Eric to being. It's like, if you try to read a Stephen King novel and he's trying to describe like a sewer grate, it's like every little piece of the sewer you're reading about. And Eric is like every little piece. He's like, well, my shoe fell off and then I had to stop and tie it. And then I ran up the hill and then there was a blade of grass, but then I slipped on the blade of grass. And it's like, okay, but it's great because it's really descriptive and it helps me do my job a lot better. And every other athlete, and I mean, Daniel's an athlete of mine, but we live together. So it's a lot easier because he'll just come home and be like, well, that run was really good. And I did this, and we'll go through all the data together. But it's really helpful when Eric writes a lot of good notes because at least at that point I can kind of go through and be like, that makes sense to mile 3. But like the 10 miler, you actually didn't write a lot. I mean, you did amazing. Let's just get that out there. You did so good, but you didn't write a lot because I think we talked after.
I texted it to you.
Yeah.
I think I sent you like a 500-word text message.
You did.
I was so pumped.
But it was all like one after the other, after the other, after the other, and it was very funny. And then you're like, I should probably not text after a race because none of my grammar was right.
Yes, it's so true.
It usually isn't. Sorry to throw you under
the only flaw with this app, Erika, is that when I'm typing on my phone, eventually it kind of disappears. I can't scroll, so I have to do it on the computer. And I wasn't near one, so I just like texted everything to her, and I was like, "I'll copy and paste it," but I don't even think I got to that point yet.
That's what happens when you don't have an Apple phone, so it's fine.
You're making it so she doesn't have to ask you any questions, so you're really saving her time.
Right.
Yes. Yeah. I remember my 20 miler, or maybe it was Washington. Just your response after was hysterical. You're like, "Wow." I'm excited. This is going to be a lot of fun. And real one last note on running. Holy shit, am I a freaking amazing runner right now? And it's only because of you.
Oh,
so,
thank you.
Erika,
you are doing such a great job.
Last year, Erika was kicking my ass, and now
he's got me.
Roles reversed. So we're not going to do a 100-miler anytime soon, though.
No, yeah, let's wait on that. Let's wait after Manchester City, and then we'll see what you're gonna do. So I might come run the half.
Cool.
That'll be right after my marathon, so we'll see how I'm feeling. And I'm gonna try to convince maybe Daniel will. It's a really tough first one, so maybe.
Has he done a half yet?
Not yet. He's done up to a 10K.
Oh. You could always do a relay. I think that might be what I'm gonna do.
I want to see him do the half.
City.
It's a good one.
That
too.
half?
Yeah, it's a good one.
The
That'll
Manchester
test
City?
you.
No, No. It'll test you all right. Yeah. And then he'll be like, I'm never running again.
Yeah. He was not a runner before he met you, right?
No, he wasn't. No, he
Look.
just started, I think, right around January, and then he hurt his knee and took like 5 weeks off, and so he's really only been running since February-ish. And every 5K he's ran, he's like improved his time. He just ran the Delta Dental 5K and did it in like 26 minutes, and then we were just in Chichester, which is where Justine lives, and she ran the Old Home Day, and they did a 5K, which is like just a fun run. And he did it in like 25:30 or something. So he's
Wow.
like, it's amazing. He's just like taken to it so well. And he pushes him. He is very structured now with running. He's like, I have to run today. I have to run. Like he wants to go out and do it. And it's really good for our kids to see too. Like now they're seeing dad run. And so it's been really good. And it's fun for us to do. It's a really good bonding thing for us to go do, when we're able to. Like this morning, he went out for his run first, came home, and then I left and went for an hour and came home. And so, but it's really nice for us to have the moments where we can run. And we have a race this weekend, actually. We're doing the Run Your Buns 4.2 up in Newfound Lake.
Awesome.
So
It's gonna be fun.
I love
It's
that you
it's
guys
it's
are
awesome
together.
seeing the two of you run together. It's been amazing watching him and getting to meet him this year. And even when I was over the house the other day dropping stuff off, and he was the man behind the griddle, I was like, I like his style, just like me this year. So I like his style. I like your style. I'm super excited that we're going to continue doing things and working together. And this is a lot of fun. So
yeah.
But Erika, that's the first one on our Monday Night Media tour today.
I'm so excited. This is going to be such a good show. It's going to be so illuminating and hopefully get rid of that taboo about mental health that it's okay to talk about. So thank you for already. I haven't even heard it, but thank you for being so honest and real and bringing this to the forefront.
Thank you.
All right. Well, that was the first one for the tour. Nicole, thank you so much for coming on real quick and talking about it. I can't wait to see what we do.
Thank you both so much.
All right. Next up on the Monday Night Media tour is no stranger to the New England running community. We met him in the wee hours of the morning at the Anchor Down Ultra a few years ago when he was really loud, pumping everyone's tires. And then he's made multiple appearances on the pod since then. He's a huge part of our pod fam, and we're wicked excited to have him part of our Monday Night Media crew. I can't wait to hear what he's going to tell us. Maurice Lohman, the Marathon Panda. What's up, dude? Welcome to Monday Night Media.
Thank you for having me. Happy Thursday evening, Erika and Eric. I'm wicked excited. You stole my words to be here.
I'm so happy to see your smiling face. It's always a good day when we get to chat.
And that beautiful shirt.
Right back at you. This is a cool shirt.
Represent.
Yes. I'm the one who missed the memo today, apparently. Erika finally wears something that says
For
on
once.
the runs.
For
once. Yes. But dude, I'm so excited. I need to share a quick little story about how I think this happened.
Okay.
We saw each other. We knew we were going to be at the Mount Washington Auto Road race.
Yes.
We kept passing each other. I mean, we were hanging out in the beginning, taking pictures and stuff.
Hugging, selfies.
Yeah, you gave the speech. It was great. And as I'm going up this hill and I'm like, no one wants to hear that. But when I was doing that, you're high-fiving and fist bumping. You were like all over the road, left and right, to just high-five someone who saw you and like, oh my God, you were like all in. If they wanted to like high-five you, you would run 15 feet out of your way to give them love. And as I'm watching this, and I knew I wanted to do Monday Night Media and produce podcasts for other people, I was like, Maurice needs to have a podcast, and I want to produce it.
I love it.
That night, I asked you about it, and you're like, that's actually a goal of mine. I really want to do a podcast. This would be amazing. Like, let's go back to that night when we chatted. Like, what was your reaction when we were chatting?
I was genuinely thrilled. I was very appreciative that you saw me as a cool candidate for this. I know how passionate you are. I know how serious you take this. I love that I've been a guest on the show. I can't say enough cool things about you and Erika. So the fact that you saw that in me, I was just like pretty overwhelmed with gratitude. But I say that often, but I really can't really think of another way to express my feelings. I was like, this is awesome. And I think I expressed to you right away, to have someone that's as passionate as you about the production side of it is like the missing ingredient. I love being the hype man. I love being the front end guy. So to have somebody that's going to help me with the project, I couldn't express more gratitude. So I was pumped. And that was an amazing day running up the mountain. That was my first time there. And you know me, I say the same thing all the time. I've embraced that role as a cheerleader for all of us. And to see a couple of familiar faces out there was just exhilarating. I was pumped.
You guys really do make a wonderful team. I cannot wait to see what you guys are going to come up with. Like, you've got Mo on the front line and Eric behind the scenes. It's just going to be an amazing show. I am so excited to hear what you are going to come up with for your show. So why don't you talk a little bit about the concept of your podcast?
So the concept, I love to just kind of have a conversation with people that inspire me and that I look up to, and also just uplift other voices, because I say it all of the time. I walk around, or I run around town with this, hey, look at me attitude, but it's because I'm so excited to be part of the community. So I want to lift up other voices in the community. I want to connect with other people. I want it to be so much more than running, so much more than sobriety, so much more than the professional side of my life where I'm, grinding on the sales floor and things like that. So there's so many people that I draw inspiration from, especially in the social media community, especially in the local running community, in the professional community. So those are the type of people that I want to have conversations with. And I will take a lot of pride in the opportunity to just let other people talk, because I tend to do quite a bit of talking.
You actually tend to say that sometimes in your reels, your videos you make. You're like, everyone knows I like to talk about myself, but you also love to hear from others.
I really do, because ever since I started, A, in the running community, and B, in the social media community, I just draw so much inspiration and influence from so many people. I always look at social media as a positive tool. Obviously, you can get caught in rabbit holes of negativity, but we don't do that. We stop if that starts to happen. And I just, I say it all the time. Like, if I realize I might not be everybody's cup of tea, so if somebody doesn't like me, they don't need to follow me and listen to me yapping about run streaks and sobriety streaks and all that stuff. But the people that I get excited to listen to, I really draw a lot of inspiration and influence from them.
I'm excited for it. I really am. So let's talk a little bit about the structure of the show. So I've had a meeting with actually everyone who's going to be a part of this already, but yours was actually in person. It was a lot of fun. It was after the Anchor Down trail prep day. And we talked about the structure of the show. Like, are you going to have a guest every episode, or are some going to be solo? Let's dive deep into that. Are some of your episodes going to be solo just with Maurice, or are we shooting for everyone with a guest? Tell the listeners what they're going to hear.
So just the fact that was thrown out as an idea, I obviously jumped on the idea of having a solo episode, possibly more than one solo episode. So I think that's something that will definitely get rolled out. I would love to follow a structure where I have a guest, have a solo episode, have a couple of guests, have another solo episode. I would never want anybody to, for lack of a better term, get sick of just me. And the whole idea of a podcast is to have a conversation. We've even bounced around to all sorts of different names and ideas. And I like the idea of, pull up a chair with the Marathon Panda and let's chat,
I love
Pull
that.
up a chair.
I absolutely love it.
Oh my God.
For the record.
Maybe that could be the name. We're going to get into the name in a second, but
Pull up a chair
wow.
with Panda.
You just threw another,
oh no, you guys got your work
this.
cut out for you picking a name. But I love that concept. And for the record, I love listening to what you have to say. So
Thank you.
Do solo episodes, you got a listener right here.
Awesome.
How do you think you would write out your solo episode? Would you write it, or would you just go from the heart?
I think I would just go from the heart. And that comes from a lot of practice, and I call them like by myself meetings with running and the long runs and my playlists tend to get very repetitive. So sometimes I do just shut off the music and just, run or walk with my thoughts. And I've had years and years of practice with that. With that being said, public speaking is one of my passions as well. And I think there's been one time in the last few years where I left an event feeling like I left a lot on the table because I did not have anything written down. So I think, but it was also in front of a big audience. So I think with this being more structured, I think going from the heart, would be a lot more genuine and a lot more easy. I did get a little, where I'm just trying to shed the light on a couple of different things, and I did get a little nervous, and I felt like I lost track and maybe lost the audience for a few minutes, where I don't think that would be an issue when you're recording an episode.
Especially with a really good editor in the background.
That's right.
That's right.
You get a lot of grace with podcasts because you can kind of reset and be like, I want to change what I said, just cut this part. So yeah, you can write down your talking points and just whatever flows. But I do have a question for you, Mo.
Yes.
If you are sitting down with somebody's gonna pull up a chair next to you, who's one of your dream guests that you would love to have on your show?
It's tough to say. I mean, you just had one of my dream guests on the show with Andrew Glaze, just because I look up to the guy so much, and he was cool enough to stop for a selfie with me in at the Javelina 100, my first 100 miler. So a couple of my dream guests would be like guys that I really, really look up to, as far as like running / social media. The Running Man book by Charlie Engle. When I first got my hands on that, I was brand new in the running community. So, and then you got Harvey Lewis. You got Jesse Itzler. Am I pronouncing his name?
Yes,
correctly?
you are. He's so cool.
Yeah. So like someone like him, because not only is he a runner, he's an entrepreneur. He's super successful. The one guy I fell in love with over his podcast was Michael Chernow. He has the Creatures of Habit, and he has a story about overcoming addiction and just turning his life into an amazing life. He's a super successful business entrepreneur selling successful restaurant chains and so forth. So, and just being very, very transparent about his past dealing with hardcore drug abuse. And he had a business partner at one time that told him to keep that in his pocket. And he made the decision to not keep that in his pocket because he felt like he wasn't being genuine. And I think I'm getting this story right. He actually parted ways with this business partner and decided to take the road of being his genuine self and always talking about the fact that he used to be a hardcore drug addict and now he's not. And I just have so much respect for that because I've always believed that if I want to continue to be genuine, then I should never be ashamed of what I overcame. It's the hugest piece of the foundation of my journey. So I'm wicked passionate about the fact that I can't just talk about myself and my accomplishments if I don't shine a light on like the darkest times, so I can spread hope to the people that are still struggling or that know people that they might have given up hope on. So that's the kind of stuff that gets me fired up. The fact that Harvey Lewis like runs to work every day and wins all these crazy marathons and ultra marathons, that stuff just fires me up.
Beast.
Guys like Ken Rideout, I mean the obvious like David Goggins and stuff like that.
I feel like you would really click with Brady McDonald too, that we talked to.
Okay.
Brady's good friends with Jesse Itzler.
Really?
Yeah. Brady was awesome. We had him on recently on the pod, and Jesse's a guy I follow. I'm not like Monday Night Media's Instagram account is not following everyone that On the Runs follows. I'm actually following people like the entrepreneurs of the world and the podcasters. So because I want to see their content because it's very inspirational and it's also motivating and it like gets me pumped up and jacked up to go to do this. And I follow them and I watch all of Jesse's stuff. It's great.
Camille Herron, Courtney DeWalter. I mean, just so I'm not leaving out any amazing women.
Well, now you're hitting our bucket list.
Yeah.
But
I'm
this
gonna
is
be a
going to be a
fly
lot
on the
of
wall
fun.
if he talks to them before we do. I'm gonna just go in the
I'll
studio.
send you the audience member
fangirl.
link, Erika, when he has
Please
them
do.
on.
Please do.
So we kind of talked about the name. You mentioned pull up a chair, so maybe we added another name to the bucket. We're not sold on the exact name yet, but we have a real good direction on where we're going.
We
Do you
do. We do.
do you want to elaborate a little bit on the names that we're thinking about?
So I love to stay with the concept that this is going to be more than a running podcast, more than a sobriety podcast, more than a recovery podcast, more than a sales professional podcast. So more with Maurice. I love to say that. That was one of my first thoughts was to name the episode, to name the show More with Maurice. I also have all these great mantras that I love, and I love to get people to catch on to. And gratefully grinding was another thought that I've had, because that's just kind of expresses how I feel on a daily basis. Being grateful for the grind, whether that grind includes training for a race, working hard to climb the work ladder, the corporate ladder, to lack of a better term, or life's ladder. So those were the two things that I had in mind. I mean, maybe we even do like a poll or something like that to get the audience's feedback. But I think it'll come to me naturally which direction I should just kind of land on.
As it should.
I want to share.
I just like the alliteration. It's perfect. Whichever one you go for, they both sound really good and they roll off the tongue.
So I want to share, we've been working a little bit on a logo, and it actually doesn't involve any of those names, but it's close to one. It's More with Mo, because it was a debate. Do we do Mo or do we do Maurice? But this was, here's a little preview of what it might look like, the logo. I had a lot of fun here. It's more, but the O is a panda, and he's a happy panda. We actually have Maurice in the background with the panda hat and the peace sign. And I love that the shirt says positivity always. I had a lot of fun because I actually worked with you notice in the Mo, it's transparent. So I'm having a ton of fun in Canva playing around making logos. And as I've mentioned with everyone so far, we're going to make many different variations of the logo. So I love it. The colors and everything that we chose.
The colors are great. The panda with the O is great. The positivity always being highlighted is absolutely
I'm loving
awesome.
the picture of you. That is a wonderful picture of you.
Thank you so much.
You can just see the happiness within you, and it's radiating off of the screen.
Thank you.
And the colors, it's like black on top, and then it gets lighter and lighter and lighter to purple.
I know, I love it. The colors look great. The colors look absolutely great.
It was a lot of fun. So you and everyone else who's going to be a part of Monday Night Media, you're going to kill it. You're going to crush it. I'm super excited. As we talked about with Nicole just before, the goal is to have all these rolling by January 2025. I know it's Labor Day weekend. We just got through the weekend, but 2025, early 2025 is the goal. We're going to hopefully record before and get a head start. I'm so excited to do this project with everyone and see how it goes. Maurice, it's going to be wicked awesome, man.
It's going to be beyond wicked awesome. I can't thank you enough for thinking that I'm a great candidate for this. I know we're going to hit grand slams with this, and thank you for giving me this opportunity to kind of expand the platform of sharing, speaking, having conversations. Not to sound too cliche, but that's what I want to do, is just have awesome conversations with awesome individuals. I say it all the time. I have a story. It's a great story, but we all have stories. So let's lift up other people's voices. Let's continue to listen to the Marathon Panda Maurice voice and, and inspire, motivate, elevate, all that good stuff.
I love it. I'm so excited.
It's perfect.
We're going to be dealing hope throughout the community.
Oh, I love it. I just cannot wait. You are hyping it up so much that I am very excited.
Oh, this is nothing. The real hype's gonna be coming. The real hype's
I can't wait to be your cheerleader. You deserve it. You're the cheerleader for everybody else. So I am on your side, rooting for you. This is gonna be like you said, a grand slam.
The hype is real. The hype is real.
It is.
The real hype coming in January 2025.
Real life, get unstuck, all that good stuff.
Love it, dude. This is going to be so awesome. Thank you for being a part of it. I think we're both we got to stop saying thank you 50 times or else they're just going to tune us out. But now we're both helping each other with our little passion projects here. This is going to be a lot of fun. We'll see where we can take this off and how it grows.
I'm hoping to see you both in the month of September or October, but if not, I'm going to see you at Hamster Wheel. I'm crewing my buddy Alex, so it's going to be fun.
Alex Burke?
Yes.
What's he
His
doing?
first ultra, and he's going big. He's going 24 hours.
Yes. Way to go, Alex.
Come join Team on the Runs. Eric will have his camper.
I think he should, because my crewing experience is next to nothing. And when I showed up to Hamster Wheel last year unsupported, I had a wet yoga mat and a plastic tote. So I need to kind of step that. I need to step it up if I'm going to be a good crew member, a good crew for Alex.
We're gonna help you out. Don't worry. We'll have tables and chairs and canopies and his camper, and we're gonna make it a home away from home.
I had one little table. It got made fun of quite a bit.
We won't let that happen again. Don't worry.
Well, Mo, thanks for coming back on the pod for this little special edition Monday Night Media Tour, as I'm calling it. I'm excited, man. You're awesome.
High fives and positive vibes. Monday Night Media is going to be lit. We're going to get it.
How can you not be super pumped for this with all that energy behind it? I cannot wipe the smile off my face right now.
I'm pumped. Thank you both.
Our next surprise announcement I am really excited for, because this one person in particular, she and I have been bouncing ideas off each other for weeks now. She's like, am I bothering you too much? I'm like, no, we're texting each other at all hours of the day and the night. And it's just, this has been so much fun. And she is just as excited as I am to do this. Allie G, welcome back to the podcast. Let's talk about your future podcast. I'm so excited.
I am so excited and honored that you're even doing this with me. And that is true. I have bothered you at all hours of the day and night. When inspiration strikes, you gotta write it out.
Just gotta do it.
Pounce on it.
I'm like
you might
Eric,
be, yeah.
I have this idea.
You might be at a concert, and it's right in the middle of the show, and then you're just like, oh my God, I got an idea. I have to stop doing what I'm doing and text Eric. It's been that cool. And it's been so much fun. So real quick, we were talking months ago, actually, and you were like, I kind of want to start a podcast. And I was kind of like, I want to start a podcast media company and produce more of them. Can we work together? And then I was in another country and just gave you a random phone call, and we chatted for 90 minutes driving while I was driving home.
Yes, we did. Were you in Canada?
I was in Canada. Yeah, I tried to make it sound like I was.
Country. I'm like, where the hell did he go?
That was such a fun call. It was it had to be beginning of summer, right?
That was June. Yeah, that was June. That was around Father's Day, I think.
And I said, no question, I want to do this.
So this idea has been percolating for a few months now, and it's finally coming to fruition. I'm so excited for you.
Well, even before that, around the time you came on, around Boston, you're like, guys, I'm thinking about doing a podcast. What do you think? And, you're like, can you send me some mics, or what's your opinion? And I was like, well, what was the one thing I said? You just have to find an identity. Anyone can do a podcast, as I'm sure I'm going to say with every one of these guests, but what are you going to talk about in episode 17? And you need to find an identity to do that. And I think you already knew what you wanted to do. You already had your identity planned.
I did. It kind of built itself in a weird way and unraveled into I'm just Allie G. It's the Allie G show. It's my identity. I can't tell you how many people just come up to me and they're like, wait, you're Allie G show? Allie G? And I'm like, yeah, I mean, that's me. You can call me whatever you want. As I told you guys when I was on my actual episode for Boston Weeks.
That you did. Glad that you actually have this show now. For real. This is yours.
I know.
It's going to be so exciting.
It's crazy.
And maybe it's a stupid question, but how did you come up with the name The Allie G Show? I know this has been you've been Allie G forever. But how did the show, because we've always known it as the show before.
Yeah, it's funny. This is so random, and I'm really dating myself. But when I graduated high school, or when I was applying to college, you know how everybody, I don't know if you guys did this, but everybody used to change their Facebook name so that colleges couldn't see your social media. It was this whole big thing. I don't even think they really do that And I didn't have anything to hide in particular, but it kind of just became this trend to like change your Facebook name to something else. And mine was Allie in Wonderland. It started as Allie in Wonderland, and then it was like roll up in Alexis, and then I just ended up changing it, and it was the Allie G Show. And for like a hot second, and then I got into college, and everybody changed their name back, and we all graduated, and we all grew up and became adults, and went by our real names. And then I made it my Peloton name. But I think the original idea was like a play off of the Ollie G Show, because I was like the class clown, and that was the comedy show. So, and I'm going on the record to say, not that I agree with everything that show is about or the jokes, but I am indeed a jokester. So I'm rebranding as the Allie G Show.
Perfect.
Love it. So we're gonna show your logo at the end, but let's get into what the listeners are gonna hear when they come onto the LG show. You and I were working. We built a Google Docs. We're kind of like, a few things I've always told you was like, this is always going to change. We're going to evolve. And our logo, how many times did we recreate this logo? Like easily close to 20. And I
Like
said
20.
the same will happen with your show. But we kind of built an identity with some Google Docs. Why don't you fill everyone in when they listen and tune into the LG show? What are they going to hear?
You are going to hear from a wide variety of guests, hopefully, that listen to music, don't listen to music when they're running, kind of where your mind goes while you're running. And if you do listen to music, like what are you listening to and why? Does your playlist impact your running and your speed and what you're going for? Do you have a playlist for your 1 milers like I do, where you just like go off and full send it? Or are you running to like classical music and why? And then if you don't listen to music, I would love to know how you do that, and you could teach me your ways, for one. But just where your mind goes and what you're thinking about, and how you make it to the finish line, whether it's a training run or a race.
That is such a great idea, because everybody is different. Everybody has their own thoughts and notions in their head while they run, or they might not have any thoughts and notions going on. So I can't wait to find out from different people their reasoning behind their runs. That's going to be great.
And maybe some of them will have a story of like how a song got them through a race, or how a playlist got them through a big race. Maybe it was like I was struggling, then this one song came on, it was Top Gun, and I was like, yes, the danger zone, let's go. But let's do a little test run here on Erika right now. Let's ask Erika, do you listen, or better yet, do you have to listen to music when you run?
I am one of those runners who does indeed need music to run. I cannot have just footsteps in my head. I cannot listen to my breathing. It throws me off for some reason. I mean, I can't even dig deep into why I do that, but having a beat in my ears helps me. It helps my cadence. It helps my tempo, like all that stuff. And I can just focus on a beat, and it gets my feet moving and hopefully hitting the right strides and speeds that I want to hit. So I have to have the music when I run.
And Allie, she has to have it on even when she's running with me. Probably because I talk so much and she just wants to tune me out. But you listen to music with every time, even if you're in a group of like 15, you have music on and you can hold a full conversation. Like I think you and Allie could totally talk all about that.
Yeah,
okay, that's impressive.
Should I save that answer for the show?
I think you should. You have to save it.
Definitely.
That's my inside
But
dirt.
don't forget it, Erika. Don't forget it.
I will write it down right now.
Well, I'm really excited. It's going to be cool. You're going to have some great questions. Like one of my favorite ones was, what's a mood killer?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, like what song comes on and breaks your stride? That kind of thing?
Yeah, because sometimes I'll be running and then I'll be like, next, trying to find the next good song. I'm not as good as making the playlist right away. But I love this. It's going to be like basically where your mind goes when you run. And if it's music, you work in the music industry. So like this is your jam. But I'm excited. Where does your mind go? How do you distract yourself during the run? It's going to be great because it's not going to be subjected to people who only listen to music.
Right. And I think that was the goal with this. At first I was so pigeonholed to like that one idea. And then after weeks of chatting with Eric and chewing his ear off, we kind of came up with the whole idea of having like two routes to go down. Because I would love to know what it's like to run without music. I can't.
You should try it.
Can't
That's
do
what
it.
I do. I don't run with music. The real reason, I
pick
can
his
never find the
brain.
headphones and I don't have time to look for them.
Mine are usually dead, so
That too.
my run is always prolonged.
Let's preview your logo. You had a lot to do with this logo, probably more than any of the other logos I've been designing for Monday Night Media. This logo is
Beautiful.
amazing.
Thanks to Canva.
What was the inspiration behind this?
It's just something about neon to me. I just like, I've always loved neon. This sounds like so basic and it's such a basic answer, but I love bright colors. I love the neon. I think it just reminds me of like the city. It reminds me of all the places I like to run. It's I don't know.
Your
it's
name's
cool.
in lights. It's going to take
I
off. You're going to
know.
be famous. You
We're
already
gonna
are.
have to we're legit gonna have to buy like a neon light for this, like those custom ones you can get.
That's cool
Yes.
We'll
shit.
get it. Yeah.
Have I
we
ever
legit
showed you
have to do
mine?
this.
My sister got me one for Christmas.
No
I'm going
way.
to send you guys a picture. Yeah, it's really cool. It's hanging by my tread.
What's the reason behind the lightning bolt?
She's
I
fast.
run in the socks. My socks that I run in are from Backline. They are bolt socks. They're just step and repeat lightning bolts. I got them one day. I ordered them. I got an ad, I guess, I think. Can't remember how I found them, but bought the pair of socks and they've been my race socks since day one. Until I wore them until they had holes and they were like, you need new socks. And I was like, okay, fine. These are my lucky socks, but fine. I'll get a new pair.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So, Erika, this is a podcast, so everyone's listening. Why don't you give the listeners a description of this beautiful logo that you're looking at?
We're seeing the Ali G show in a bright yellow neon, and it's surrounded by this glowing circle of beautiful light with the lightning bolt in the middle, and everything's just glowing and vibrant.
There's like this brick wall background, but it's kind of like dark, and it's just so good. You did such an amazing job with this logo. Like, you even created, and people who might have seen it already on Instagram, like the coming soon little video, and that is awesome. Like, you have
I'm getting a little bit of mystery from this too. Like, it's a little mysterious. Like, you got to tune in.
Yeah, you have to tune in. It's kind of giving like dive bar now that I'm thinking about it. But
I don't
like
hate it.
like a New York City, like I'm eating late night pizza vibe.
It almost gives me comedy club vibes, you know? Like,
Ooh, Erika,
name
I
and
like
light kind of
that.
comedy club. Okay.
Okay, good. Okay. That's the goal.
But it's perfect.
It's great.
Seems like it fits your personality to a T.
It's a beautiful logo. Like, we
really
hit it off
is.
with the neon there. It's amazing.
Yes.
We had so many different versions of this logo, and then I think we were like settled on one, and it was like a week and a half go by, and you're just like, I'm bored at work today. I was doing a lot of canvaing, and I want to show you something. Don't be mad that I changed the logo up on us. And I was in the middle of a run and stopped and looked at it. I was like, holy shit, it's amazing.
I know. I bothered Eric on his run. I'm like, I need the Monday Night Media logo.
Don't feel
Yes.
bad.
Yes, that's right. That's what you needed. I remember because that's right. So all these logos have the little Monday Night Media on it. I love it. This is a dream for me. I think it's a dream for you. And it's fun. We're going to try this and it's going to work. It's going to happen.
Perfect pairing.
I think you really want to get to weekly. So we'll have that as a goal. Maybe in the first year we can be weekly, but we'll at least start out bi-weekly or maybe weekly. We'll get, like I said, we haven't started recording it, but I think you are ready to record. We've done everything. We just now have to line up the guest. And if we get 4 in the bank first and we just keep rolling and the consistency's there, and if I can keep up, which I will, I'm so excited. This is going to be a lot of fun. The Ali G show is going to be a staple of Monday Night Media for a long time.
Yes. I can't wait, guys. I'm so excited.
Well,
We are-
Erika, Miss CEO, are you happy with what we've done so far?
I approve. Seal of approval
Erica's like,
from Miss Big
no.
Sister over here. Oh God.
Yeah. Big sister.
No, I'm very much looking forward to listening to your podcast. I mean, maybe that will replace some music. Maybe I can just listen to your podcast instead.
I'd be honored if I get to that point.
I'm gonna
The
listen
only thing we
anyways,
have
but-
to do, speaking of music, is we have to find a killer, a badass, a kick-ass
yes.
intro and outro music.
Yes, you
Yes.
You work in the
Yeah.
music industry. Maybe you can call your friend, Joey from NSYNC or somewhere, and be like, "Yo, can I use your song?" Get their seal of approval. We can use it.
Hey, Joe Jonas. No, just kidding.
do. There you go.
There you go. We got. Oh, did you add the notes for intro music? Powerful beat, hip hop, rock beats.
I did. I found
Yeah.
some names from the list or from the link you gave me.
Yep.
I didn't know
I
the
love
vibe.
that. I love that I see you're adding to the Google Docs. I love that I see you're in Canva and doing everything. You're really a part of this, and I love it.
She means
thank you.
Trying to keep
man.
up. I know.
Yes.
I do mean business. Thanks, guys.
I like that. I love that you do
For
because you're
dealing with
pushing me
me.
for it. You're pushing me like, okay, let's do this now. And I'm like, yes, all right. I got
know
someone who's
we're
ready
holding
to
each
go.
other accountable.
Yes,
that's what it's about.
Love it. Love it. All right, guys. I hope you're wicked excited for the Ali G show. This is gonna be a blast. Ali, look at that smile. Oh my God. And you got the music box behind you. Thank you for
There she
helping
is.
me. I'm excited. I got to stop saying how excited I am. I've said it like 15 times.
palpable.
Erica,
Same.
take us away.
Thank you, Allie. We're so looking forward to listening, and we're gonna let everybody know when your first episode drops.
Yeah,
Yay.
maybe
I can't
before the
wait.
new year. Maybe before Thanksgiving.
No pressure.
Maybe before Halloween. We'll see.
Maybe.
Stay tuned, everybody. We have to give so much props to Nicole, Maurice, and Allie for their vision. They are going to have such a wonderful podcast, each and every one of them. And I cannot wait to hear what they have to say. This is going to be so awesome. And you are definitely a creative vision behind most of this stuff. So you guys are just knocking it out of the park.
Well, you know what's going to make it easy? And I said on the intro, these are all handpicked by me. That's somewhat true. But
they
all
showed
three,
interest, right?
They all wanted to do a podcast before this. They just maybe were like, I want to do it. It's on my bucket list. It's like a short-term or a long-term goal. And I'm like, let's do it together. So these are their podcasts. They're going to be behind the scenes, finding their guest, finding their vibe, their cadence. I'm going to kind of try to help along the way. I'm really going to be behind the scenes post recording and doing all that work, doing the mixing and everything and the editing. And we're going to find the perfect music. We talked about the logos. I'm helping with that. Yeah. So they're going to be a lot more pre-production. I'm going to be a lot more post-production. I might be a little involved in pre. They might be a little involved in post. Like we'll find the exact right thing we want. And then it will probably just flow from there.
But that's giving them free reign to do whatever they want with their podcast. It's going to be uniquely theirs. So I think you guys are doing an awesome job so far.
I'm super excited. So those are 3 of the possible, let's be honest, 6 that we might do. So let me give you a little previews of the other ones. I'm not going to really give away much, but one person has expressed interest. And I said, if you want to do it because they're such a rock star, and I would love to help them if they can do all the recordings on their own.
Yep.
The similar way that Nicole's doing it with seasons, we could have like a murder podcast, and those are huge right now. It would have nothing to do with running, but maybe we could.
I wouldn't say right now. They've always been popular, so that's a perfect genre.
That's right. The other one is kind of like a one for me. But Adeline wants to have one, so we created her logo, and we're calling it the Adeline Show. It's going to have no context, no identity, just chatting, hearing what's going on in Adeline's life. I guess that's an identity. But I'm really using her as a test dummy. Like, I can practice things. And also, I kind of forget how we set up our podcast 2.5 years ago on Buzzsprout. And now I want to try hers on Spotify because Spotify is free, apparently.
Okay.
But then you're dealing with things like they can throw ads in it and everything too, or whatever. So I want to practice on that. I'm going to just have some fun recording with her about whatever, and probably do the free versions that stay live for only 90 days. So those could drop soon. You might get a little bit of the Adeline Show. I know a lot of people like Adeline. And I'm not going to drop the future hosts of the other podcast, but we will talk about it because we've mentioned it once or twice. But we're hoping to have a monthly recap episode that we're going to call the Recrap.
I'm so excited for that. The name just gets me every time I hear it.
The people we have in mind for this are fantastic. We want to bring them on to talk about it, but it also could at sometimes have a rotation of hosts, like a co-host. Like maybe you could jump in, maybe Nicole could jump in, or Maurice, right? And the whole idea behind that is once a month, like we'll either have it be the first Wednesday of the month or the last Wednesday of the month, something along those lines. So you always know when it comes out. A recap of the last month of Monday Night Media. Talk about some guests that we had, maybe talk about one of Maurice's guests or Nicole's, maybe even bring a guest back on to say, hey, we loved your episode, but there's some unanswered questions, or maybe we had someone who just ran the Chicago Marathon or who was going to run the Chicago Marathon. You bring them back on the recap to talk about it.
I love it. It's the perfect way to not summarize, but just capture all the highlights of Monday Night
recap
Media.
it up. We have to find a sponsor for that one and have it be like butt napkins. Welcome to the recap.
Napkins. We got his card. His name is Ryan.
We do. Brought to you by butt napkins. That's the perfect sponsor for
Either
it.
that or dude wipes. We got a
dude wipes would be duderific. Yes.
We'll figure it out. But
absolutely. So that's it for the Monday Night Media Tour, the first annual. Is it going to be a yearly thing? I don't know. Like maybe eventually we could do a lot more of these. If anyone else is interested in doing a podcast, like we can talk. It's obviously a lot of work. There's definitely compensation that will have to be exchanged. Because it's a lot of time. So don't just think Eric's going to do this for free. But if you want to do something, I would totally be down for that and help and at least talk. And a big drive motivation for this is I've had many of those same conversations with other people who do these kind of things, and it's been a lot of fun. So I have no problem talking to anyone as long as you can do it after my kids go to bed.
I know, right? Early bedtimes need not apply.
That's kind of the hope.
I shouldn't even say that.
But seriously, that's kind of the hope. Like, I have so much fun doing this. We've taken this well past what we ever imagined it would really go, or at least maybe what you imagined. Because
at this point, I don't even know where On the Runs is going. We're going up, baby. And Monday Night Media is taking us there. So
yeah, I mean, I remember leaving your house on the porch and being like, just stick with me after recording episode 5 for the second time because we screwed up the first time and lost the files. I'm like, just stick with me. This could be a lot of fun. But the one thing I really learned, and I had a conversation with your group, with your like best friend, Rachel, when we were running in the NH 10 miler was, we will be more successful as a team, in a team of podcast, in a team, a community versus just us. And I enjoy the behind the scenes stuff. If I want to do more of it, like this is how I'm going to do it and how we're going to do it. And this is how we can grow and expand bigger than what I think we could just as one.
We already love the running community, so why not add podcast community to that too?
Yes. Oh man, it'll be fun. Eventually, I always see these things for like podcast conventions in like DC or like Las Vegas or LA, and I'm like, we're gonna go to those.
That's big time. That's
yes,
big time
we're gonna.
Stuff.
But and then hopefully, we've been talking with. I don't want to spill the beans on this one because they haven't announced it yet. But we are going to be a supporting partner for something coming out soon, and hopefully soon, like we'll go to things like the Boston Run Show and have a table. We can't do it this year. My sister's getting married the day of the run show.
You have a pretty good excuse.
But I want a table, and I want a Monday night table, and we'll have all 4 podcasts there, 5, maybe even Adeline, 6. So, but it will be great. We're hoping Maurice and Allie can possibly have a weekly podcast. At the worst, bi-weekly, where it goes Maurice, Allie, Maurice, Allie. Mm-hmm. And Nicole's going to be a seasonal. She already has those 3 seasons planned out. She already started recording the first season. So she's officially the first to start recording for Monday Night Media. Allie's ready to go. Maurice is not far behind. They're going to find their cadence, and this is going to be awesome. So this is like our special edition. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Monday Night Media Tour. How cool does that sound?
It really is awesome. And we hope that you guys enjoy their podcast as much as you enjoy ours. And you guys go give them a listen and support them too. They're good friends. They're pod fam, and we love them, and we're so proud of what they're up to. So
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
excited. But yeah, that's all I got. This is a short one, kind of. Oh, you
I
have
do
something.
have one thing you told me to remind you about, and I actually wrote it down.
Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah.
You were teasing during our run that you are committing to a race next year, and you would not tell me during that
I am
run. So
committing.
what are you committing to?
It is a great race, fantastic race, an amazing event. Tons of people show up. It's a great time. I've done it twice. Unfortunately, this year I missed out.
Okay.
But yesterday, the 2025 NASCAR schedule came out, and I got to see the date of the race in New Hampshire, and it's moving back to the playoffs, baby, in September. And that frees up a special weekend in June.
You're going to the Gallop, aren't you?
I'm back for the Goffstown Gallop.
4th Saturday in June.
That's right. It should work, unless anyone tells me they're getting married or something, which no one's getting married at 4 or 8 in the morning. I am back.
8:30.
I am back for the Goffstown Gallop next year. I missed it last year because of the NASCAR race, but I have so much fun. I can't wait to go after and jump in the lake and cool off.
That this year. I had
and
to
drink with
book right after.
Yeah, that's right. You had a book. But then I can't wait to drink in a high school parking lot with everyone. I don't know what I'll be drinking. It might be water. It might be alcohol. I don't know. It'd probably be a little bit.
Well, we
maybe
just
I'll have
to
one.
keep it on the DL because.
Well, I'm not a big drinker.
Well, it's not even that. We did that on school grounds.
That's right. I know. That's why I like to joke.
Very frowned upon. I think
that's why I like to joke. We're drinking on a high school parking lot. But I'm back for the Gallop, baby. I'm back.
Pumped. That is the day after my birthday next year. It's June 28th.
So we should make it a full day thing, party. We should have cake. Lindsay, make cupcakes for after the race. We'll cook. Okay. We'll do something. That would be awesome.
Yeah, that would be a blast.
Could we have a
calendar? I won't miss it.
Yeah, I don't know. Should we get a spot or tell everyone to meet us after? Does Danielle want to host? Do you want to host? Do we have anyone have a lake? Anyone have a lake? We can have a lake party.
I do have friends on a lake, but it's way up north. But I doubt.
No, don't want to do that.
That's primo summertime, so they're probably gonna have.
All right, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna celebrate your birthday at the Gallop. We'll have cupcakes after and drinks in the high school parking lot. That will be a lot of fun. Thanks for reminding me of that. That's awesome. That's awesome. You know what else we did talk about? I'll just throw this out there now. Repaving driveways. Okay. So they're repaving all the streets around my house, and they came down knocking on doors saying, "Hey, would you like your driveway repaved? We have a lot of extra asphalt, tar, whatever they're using, right?"
Oh, are they giving you a nice discount on it? I hope.
So my driveway is about the size of your driveway. Can fit about 2 cars, but mine's longer where yours is wider. So mine might actually be a teeny bit bigger than yours. But guess how much they estimated and quoted us?
God, I don't even want to know because we need to have ours redone, and I anticipate it's going to be very expensive.
So this is they're like, "Hey, we're looking to use it. We're going to give you a little cheaper rate than you'd probably get." So a driveway that fits about 2.5 cars, not even really, just 2 cars.
Right.
$3,000.
Actually, that's better than what I thought.
Really?
Brandon's like, yeah, it's gonna be $8,000 to $10,000. I'm like,
that's insane.
How do people afford to do that?
Right, they're just throwing tar on it.
I know, but I mean, $3,000. That's still really pricey. But I don't know. You could always just reach out to somebody else and say, "Hey, I have a X by X driveway. How much would you charge for it?" And see if they're even giving you a discount.
I looked at it.
Need it, so.
I don't need it. I won't need it for years.
Man. Save the $3,000.
Yeah, don't need it. I don't even park my truck on the driveway because in the back of the house is a dead end, and I park it at the dead end, and it's perfectly fine there unless you leave your keys on top of the truck bed and someone steals it.
Don't do that, and then you'll be fine. But yeah, I would save the money. That can go towards better things.
Yeah,
Boulder. Well, my landscapers seem to be choosing right now to come do our lawn. So should we wrap?
You don't cut your own lawn?
Oh no, it's part of. I'm in a home. I've got an HOA, so
wait,
they do
what?
it for me. Yeah, dude.
I don't think I could accept that if I lived. I need to cut my own lawn. Oh, I can't let another person
Why?
cut my lawn. I want to cut
You
my
think
lawn.
I would cut my lawn? It would be
I
Brandon that
love
cuts
mowing
my
the lawn.
Neither of us have done the lawn. Although
What?
the only thing I have to do is shovel my driveway, and that is enough work for me.
Brandon doesn't want to mow the lawn. That's one of my that's like running to me sometimes. Go out there and mow the lawn and like get in your own thoughts or something. I want perfect lines. I freaking love mowing the lawn. How?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
They do it in like 10 minutes. It would take so much more time if we did.
I mean, it
ourselves,
takes
so.
me 15 minutes. I don't care. I have, when I get in my next house, it's funny. I was running with someone the other day. We were talking about houses and like what I really want. I don't think I'm that picky, but I want a driveway long enough to justify getting a plow on my truck, but a snowblower will be just fine.
I
My
want
driveway-
a snowblower for my tiny little driveway.
Well, my driveway's not big enough for either. I still shovel it. I also want a lawn big enough to get a ride-on mower because that's
There
what
you
I
go.
had growing up. And it took me an hour to cut the lawn at my parents' house with a ride-on mower, and I loved it.
Wow, that's.
I even owned a little lawn care business around our lawn mowing business around our neighborhood. I lived on a half-mile circle, and one summer I had like 6 houses. I made like $1,500, $25 a lawn.
Wow, that's
I would
awesome.
mow so many lawns all the time in the summer. I loved it. I thought I was going to own my own landscaping company when I was a kid. Yeah, I can't believe it. Like, so wait, do you have the option to mow your own lawn?
I mean, maybe, but we don't have. They've always done our lawn, so we don't have a lawnmower. So I mean, it's good
Man.
that they do it. This is our first house. It probably won't be our last. But
I would be disappointed if I bought a home and was told someone else is going to mow my lawn. Our
yard isn't big enough, and it's shared spaces, so I really don't care.
So I told you I had a few things for my house. I've added a few to it though. One, I want a podcast studio, but that's very you can make that anywhere. Yeah. But the really the things always were a big driveway, long driveway for space for campers and everything, and to get a plow, a big lawn for a sit-on lawnmower. The other one was I wanted a big walk-in basement or a detached 2-car garage with a loft.
Oh,
and that could be my podcast studio in the loft.
There you go.
I've added a new thing though in the recent year or so.
Very nice.
I want bedroom floor laundry.
Bedroom floor laundry, like a chute, a laundry chute.
No, I want your washer and dryer to be on the same floor as the bedrooms.
Oh, so you don't have to go lugging it up and down the stairs. And stuff? Okay.
Yes, that's absolutely what I want. That's like almost a requirement now. If I was building a house, that would be like top of the list. Like this is a need versus a want.
Yep.
Yeah.
I can imagine what I want in my next house. I just want a gym area that is big enough so I can get the Peloton row. I want the whole Peloton.
You want
collection.
the row?
I want the row. Yeah.
You just want to hang out with Bex more.
Of course. Who doesn't?
Yeah. Jay has a rower actually. Jay transformed his living room into a gym.
His living room. Oh, I mean, if you're not going to use it as an actual living room,
he's got everything from like the bench squat setup, rower, the rubber floors, the weights.
I just want high ceilings, so maybe I could get the Tread Plus too,
There you
or
go.
like whatever the big one is. Yeah.
There you go.
Dreams.
Well, all right. For us, it's Friday. It's 3:40 in the afternoon.
Yep.
Like, this is amazing. You're already drinking. I need a shower after our run.
I'm all clean. I had lunch. I'm good.
So I'm going to say to you, have a great Labor Day weekend. But I'm going to say to our guests, I hope you all had a great Labor Day weekend. We'll be back next week with another amazing guest. We got a few more lined up before it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month in October, and we have those lined up. So many exciting things are happening from Monday Night Media. On the Runs, Run Your Mind, more with Maurice in the Ali G Show. Oh, and the recap coming up in 2025. This is going to be a lot of fun, a lot of work, but a lot of fun. And when it's fun, it doesn't feel like work. So, Erika, thank you for sticking with me all this time. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the Monday Night Media Tour. And don't fear the code brown.
I hope you all had a wonderful weekend. Please, summer, stick around a little bit longer because we want to keep enjoying those outside runs. So you know what I got to say. We love you. Don't forget to stretch.
3, 2, 1, yeah!
I was running today and I was like, okay, so Erika is the CEO because I have to be the COO, the Chief Operating Officer.
That's all right.
I feel like you're both.
I am.
You're the CEO or something.
But I have to give you a title. All right.
Your email, though, Erika, killed me the other day when you responded to everyone. And you're like, I don't know, you were like, I just oversee. And I was like, wait, she's really big sistering everybody right now.